Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something really practical. How to organize our thoughts better so we can communicate, well, more effectively.
Exactly. We've looked at some tips, uh, 10 tips actually, designed to bring that clarity and impact.
And the mission here is pretty straightforward, give you actionable strategies, stuff you can use right away to structure your thinking, avoid confusion, and just get your point across.
It's all about building that foundation for successful communication, isn't it? Getting your own mental house in order first,
Hmm.
then figuring out how to share those thoughts in a way that connects.
Okay, so let's dig in. The first few tips really hammer home this idea that good communication starts inside. If things are kind of messy in your head,
It's going to come out messy when you talk to others.
yeah.
The source makes that link very clear. Organized thoughts make understanding easier for you and for them.
It's that direct correlation. Like you said, if you're internally clear, it just translates externally.
hmm And think about it if you're confident what you're saying because you understand it deeply. People sense that. Plus, there's the sincerity point.
Ah, yes, speaking from the heart makes people more receptive, right?
Totally. Authenticity, honesty, it helps build that connection, makes listeners more willing to, actually hear what you're saying.
And it ties into really knowing your thoughts before you speak. The idea that well-considered words just land better. They have more weight.
It's like taking that pause to solidify things first. It makes the delivery much stronger. You wouldn't give directions if you weren't sure of the route yourself, would you?
Good analogy. Okay, so after getting clear internally, the tips move towards, well, externalizing things, giving thoughts structure.
Right. And writing comes up strongly here. The power of just putting pen to paper or fingers to keyboard.
Yeah, that really struck me, how that simple act helps you see the bigger picture, maybe even solve problems.
It forces a kind of linear thinking, doesn't it? You have to
Yeah.
put one thought after another. It could expose gaps or create connections you missed just mulling it over in your head.
And then there's the environment aspect too, the tidy workspace idea.
Oh, yeah, the link between a clean desk and potentially a clearer mind. Minimizing that external clutter might actually help with the internal kind.
It's an interesting thought.
It is. Then things get a bit deeper, looking at cultivating more awareness of our own thinking. Meditation gets a mention.
hmm Not necessarily about emptying the mind, but more about like observing your thoughts without judgment, becoming aware of the patterns.
It's like stepping back and watching the mental gears turn.
Sort of, yeah. You start noticing your assumptions, maybe biases you didn't realize were there, which obviously impacts how you communicate. And then there's self-questioning.
Constantly asking why
Hmm.
about your own ideas.
Exactly. Pushing yourself to dig deeper, explore different angles. It expands your thinking.
And we can't forget rest. The tips highlight letting your brain relax to gain broader perspectives.
It's so crucial. Our brains aren't meant for nonstop processing. Downtime lets things consolidate, leads to those aha moments sometimes. You need rest for effective thinking, period.
Okay, finally, the focus shifts to the audience. Connecting with them.
Yeah, using familiar language seems basic, but it's easy to fall into jargon or technical terms that lose people.
Keeping it clear, accessible, ensuring the message lands immediately.
And a big one here, perspective taking. Really trying to put yourself in the other person's shoes.
Understanding where they're coming from.
Their background, what they already know, how they might interpret things differently. It's about empathy, really, tailoring your message so it resonates.
And it helps you see the problem from multiple angles, too, which is always useful.
Absolutely. Fosters better understanding all around.
So, wrapping this up, these tips paint a picture of communication as, well, a whole process. It's internal clarity first,
Then structuring those thoughts externally, like through writing.
understanding your own mind better through things like observation and questioning. And finally, connecting with your audience using clear language and empathy, considering their perspective.
It's not just about tips and tricks, is it? It's more fundamental. Skills for navigating interactions better.
Definitely. Building stronger connections, achieving clearer understanding in, well, pretty much any situation.
So here's a final thought for you to chew on. What if you consciously picked just one of these ideas? Maybe just pausing to clarify your thoughts before your next important conversation, or really trying to see the other person's viewpoint. How might that change things? What could you discover about your own thinking or how others perceive you?
Something to consider.
That's our deep dive for today. Thanks for tuning in.